sometimes in life you see something, you think it's a bargain, and so you buy it. And, you know, sometimes blind buys aren't good. So this is actually a full bottle of Elizabeth and James Nirvana French Grey. And this was, I think, £16 from Fragrance X, which is why I got it, because it seemed like a real bargain because this has been discontinued. So this is a 30ml bottle of French Grey, and I absolutely adore these bottles, and that's, I think, one of the reasons I was so tempted to buy one of them, is just because I absolutely love these bottles. I think they're so chic, they're so pretty. You can see this is actually see-through, this one, just like slightly see-through. Absolutely glorious bottles. Now, French Grey is, the notes, there's only 3 listed: musk, neroli and lavender. And I absolutely genuinely thought this would be my safest bet in terms of a bottle. And yet, no. It's very green, like, and really sharp on me. It's sharp from the bottle, it's very sharp on my skin, and it doesn't get a bit sweeter and let up in that kind of green sharpness right until the very end, you know, in terms of like the very incredibly deep dry down when you basically can't smell it much anymore. The neroli in this is so green and herbal, and the lavender is so sharp. There's no sweetness in here, and that makes me sad because so many of the other Nirvana perfumes are so sweet that they actually were too much for me. Like, I found some of them a bit cloying because they're so incredibly sweet. This one just, it smells more masculine, I think, because of that as well, even though it's unisex. I do want to try to show you. There you go. If I put my light behind, you see how beautiful this bottle is. Oh, I'm absolutely obsessed. But yeah, sadly, I just do not like this one. I find it very, very sharp and unpleasant. It reminds me of something very vintage. Oh my God, what does it smell like? Oh, you know what it reminds me of? Oh my God. Okay, I'm clicking. It reminds me of Elizabeth Arden's Eau Fresh, but way more watery and lighter. Now that's a perfume that I think smells like mud and grass. This doesn't smell as muddy, and it doesn't have the kind of weird, slightly sugary vanilla smell that's mixed in with like that super citrusy green grass mud smell that I got with Eau Fresh from Elizabeth Arden, which is a very old perfume. It smells really old fashioned. This really reminds me of that in terms of like the weird sharp herbalness that I'm getting, which is not what I was expecting, to be honest. I wasn't expecting it at all to smell like this. So yeah, I can't wear this. It doesn't go well on my skin, and I'm really sad because, oh my God, look how beautiful this bottle is. It's absolutely gorgeous, this bottle. Oh, I'm kind of sad because I've tried all of these perfumes now, and I don't particularly like any of them. I don't think I like any of them enough to get a bottle. I certainly, I think Nirvana Black is the best one, but I definitely don't need that perfume. I've got sweet sandalwood perfumes. I don't like that any more than the ones I've already got, so I don't need it. And Amethyst was too sickly for me. Bourbon was too sickly for me. What were the other ones? So Rose just isn't really my kind of thing. I'm not keen enough on Rose, really. So the only one that I would consider getting a bottle of is White, and at the moment my feelings about that is it's just not particularly interesting. However, what I might try doing with White, which is this one here, which I have a little sample of, I might try actually wearing that for a full day, a full test where it's on my neck and it's on my wrists and it's on my décolletage, and see how I get on with it and see how I feel about it, because I know that one's really popular and I can see it's a really pretty smell. And to be honest, the super deep dry down, when you get more of the musk, and less of the peony, then that's when I think it really starts to shine. So I'm going to try. God, it's really struggling to focus on this thing. Bit better. I'm probably going to try that one because I would really just like one of these bottles because I think they're gorgeous. I'm really keen on them. I think they're one of my favourite bottles that I've seen. And I know it's silly to want a perfume just because of the bottle, but I want one of these in my collection. I think they're absolutely stunning. They're so like, they feel very me, these bottles. I really, really like them. So yeah, so I might give the white a good wear test and a good go. And I would highly recommend the sandalwood one, the black Elizabeth and James Nirvana black, because I think that's a beautiful, beautiful sandalwood perfume, perfectly unisex. And I also think if you like rose, the rose is really interesting, but I don't like I find the other two really cloying. I find the bourbon and the amethyst very, very sweet and cloying, and I find this the complete opposite. Then it needs sweetness to me. It's way, way too sharp. And too green, considering that it hasn't got any sweetness in it. So yeah, I'll pass this one on. I'm sure there's someone who would love it. So that's my little Elizabeth and James Nirvana Odyssey over and done with. It was really fun to try them out, and you can get these if you're in the UK. You will need to get them probably from America. So I got these all from Fragrance X when I did a Fragrance X order. And yeah, I mean, I think they're worth trying if you like a kind of simple but quite interesting perfume. But hopefully my descriptions have been helpful. So